Hello, everyone, and welcome back to day 4, the final day of stage 1 for the PEL European League Contenders Promotions for phase 3. My name is Esquire, joined here by Imperium to bring you through the action, and back to Miramar we go, where we're looking to see some dominant performance out of these teams who are in the final day for that point chase into the top 8.
Oh, yes, indeed, Esquire. We had a fantastic, crazy day where we saw the almighty powerful pulling 2 fantastic winner chicken dinners to climb on top of the leaderboard in first place. But a team that has very heavily impressed me is the side of 4 Kings, who are lying in second, Esquire, and they haven't even got a chicken dinner. So to be as consistent as they have, really impressed me.
Yeah, and it just kind of goes to show, imagine the points they could be walking away if they were able to close out those games and get the first places, because the point gaps in between just first and fourth, it's pretty significant, all things considered. Plane Path has kicked everyone out of the cargo hold. Heading up from the northwestern corner down to the southeast we go, favored over towards the eastern side of the map. We'll be cutting off a few locations all the way over towards El Pozo, Montenuevo, Valle de Mar, Imperium, where we see at least a few teams have started to gravitate towards.
Yeah, there's a little bit of tiny action between YMCA and SEEKORG, but yeah, I believe SEEKORG will. Well, actually, no, I don't think they'll be looking to go to El Pozo now. Maybe Le Cabrieri, but that circle very northwards. It means the teams that are down the south, the likes of Enviik, 3D Max, Tarlans, they're gonna have to make their way up northwards somewhat as quickly as possible.
3D Max, no strangers to these early game engagements, will be fighting the likes of Enviik. Robin able to land a few shots, return fire coming back in, dropping him down to 57 HP as he hops out of the building to try to find even more, but it's going to be Wago dropping down with the iron sight, M416 spray, first blood of the day. Going to be coming out here, 3D Max, point in the pocket.
Oh my, that's a good start coming out from 3D Max. Wago, no stranger to getting the damage done and getting those kills when he has the opportunity. Has impressed me, even though he's not exactly super high on the kill feed leaderboards in terms of top 3. But from what I've seen, when he's pulled out a good shot, he's gotten the job done. But Airwaves, they had a great day yesterday. They got a chicken dinner. They got another couple of good results. They find themselves in 8th place. And when we talk about the standings, as you know, it is the top 8 that will move on up to stage 2 starting tomorrow. And there's only 41 point difference separating 3rd place and 12th place, Esquire. That's how close it is for these teams.
Interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty exciting day so far. A day that's not gone so exciting, at least in the early stages. Only 3 minutes into this game is going to be for Team Elite. I believe something happened with one of their players, and they did end up drowning, most likely a disconnect.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens, though, but that is going to be competitive PUBG. We have rules that handle it, but unfortunately those will not be implicated here in game number 1 just yet. Team Elite on the far eastern coast near Puerto Paraiso will have to continue on with just 3 alive, which for this team, who needs to play very aggressively but also pick up placement points, Imperium, that's going to become more of a struggle than it normally would be.
Yeah, it is, but I suppose my kind of theory based on where they're in last place, right? They only have 24 points, my apologies, in total. In my eyes, they've nothing to lose. So yes, not having that 4th player is definitely going to be a bit detrimental. But because they have nothing to lose, in my opinion, they should just be super aggressive every single chance they get. If they can get as many kill points as they can from being that play style and having that play style, it will overall be a bigger benefit than if they play passive, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, there is an ending to that statement. Nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And that is pretty much where Team Elite is currently sitting. But 4 Kings pushing up on the hillside might be getting dangerously close to finding their first engagement of the map, as the CRIPS look to set up here over in Impala. This is an area of the map that they have gravitated towards, has been wide open for them on these Miramar sets of matches, and is a town that's actually one of my favorite here on the Miramar map. It's very easy to spread up between 4 players, separate the quadrants, and then effectively and efficiently loot through them.
Yeah, that's a fair point because it kind of raises up between the lower and the higher part. It does give you a lot of scope to kind of look around at where your opponents are. But Crips, they're lying in 13th at the moment. They do have 39 points, so they're roughly about 40 points behind 8th place. That is only about two good performances, a chicken dinner and one kind of second or third place finish. Their average isn't really that high. It's below 4 points per game. So if they can pick that up and step it up, I definitely think they can really climb the leaderboards. We saw it with Airwaves yesterday, so there's absolutely no doubt that it can happen with CRIPS E-Sports today.
Powerful will be trying to stake their claim to a positional compound here, as the ToxicPlayers try to do the same around the water treatment area. Positioning vehicles is also key when you start to at least lock up that first spot on the map. Don't want to have any of your vehicles get disabled by long distance shots. But it seems that two of the members of the ToxicPlayers, Archie and Sammy Toxic, have spotted something out in the distance. They were taking a few DMR shots. And then we get some beautiful, beautiful graffiti on the side of the wall as you look now where the Futbolists have positioned up. A crate off in the distance won't be a bad pickup for them here in the Hacienda del Patron area. But I want to talk about Futbolist Imperium. They were a team as well that we saw, again, sitting on the bottom side of the leaderboard, but consistently making pretty big plays, just not able to capitalize on those mid to late game finishes.
Yeah, it's kind of like they would go so far and then some kind of invisible wall would just kind of block them or stop them from going further. Especially although we've seen Archie, you said that they spot him out, has got a knockdown and a frag on the Hawk on the side of Airwaves. So this is a good start from ToxicPlayers and putting Airwaves under a little bit more pressure.
Airwaves need to be careful here. This was pretty much just a scout compound coming out for them, trying to reunite and at least have two strong in that compound. Now going to be left back with one. And if ToxicPlayers have the benefit of that information, they could push into that. Tarlans, another team, bottom of the leaderboard, looking to have a big game. I feel like this is another squad Imperium. It's so true throughout these lobbies. These skill sets of these players are all fairly similar. Definitely some standouts at the top of the leaderboards. But these engagements, they've gone back and forth. Players have been getting squad wipes on one another, but then also finding themselves going out in 16th place position.
You'll see fluttering moments of impressiveness. So as to cut myself off, Fisk has spot out one member of MJ-Esports in that vehicle, gonna try and get the shots off with the M4 and the red dot sight. Not quite getting it done, but he's switched over. He's got that scope on. He's taking a couple of shots. He got the knockdown, and that is going to be a frag going over to SEEKORG. Good start for them, bad start for MJ.
Important positioning for SEEKORG right there. They did have the flank position. Two other members were able to fire shots into the vehicle. Yeah. The vehicle damage was what popped that member of MJ-Esports out, and then right into that beautiful SKS of the other member of SEEKORG. And out they go, Airwaves, trying to make waves here. They currently sit in 8th place position going into this game. And that's not really a spot that you want to be in going into the 4th and final day of stage number 1. Certainly it's a good position. It's better than 16th, but it's going to be a sweaty one for these guys.
They're going to have to extract every single point that they can from every single game. They're going to have to push, the calculated kind of play that we've seen them do, especially yesterday. But yeah, every single time they lose a member or they lose a bit of a squad fight, they're going to have to reset themselves a bit more and go, is it really worth it in this moment? We've seen them lose one player already, bit of an unfortunate situation. But now as 3 members, they're really going to have to just play a bit more passive until the moment is right for that aggression to come through.
We'll see when that moment will come as Phase 1 is closing out. Phase 2 pops up towards the northeast. We will be going centered on top of Norski and his teammate of Powerful in that 2-2 split. MJ-Esports going to be holding a very loose position off the western flank of Cruz de Valle. But rotation is the name of the game for the teams down to the southwest, who will be fighting tooth and nail to try to find a location. Remember, ToxicPlayers already in water treatment. They've got the Hillside Imperium. Will they be able to utilize it?
I think they actually will be, because there's so many teams looking to move on up. The only fear is that you have 2 or 3 teams that are going to go close to them, that they'll be kind of swarmed in, they'll get pinched. But for now, they're looking pretty strong from where they are. As you said, they have it isolated on their own. And I think these teams are less worried about crashing another team's compound and just finding a compound for themselves that they can look to kind of go, okay, this is where we are for now. Let's scope around and then potentially move on to a better compound, or then look to push onto someone else's compound. So, teams taking a step by step, Esquire.
Step by step and day by day is pretty much how you have to take these tournaments. You can't get consumed by a few bad games here or there, as the Tarlans look to at least set up near some of the remaining members of Team Elite. They are on 3 members, at least for Team Elite, after losing 1 in the very early stages of the game. Vehicle going to be running away from the members of the Tarlans. Down the hill it goes as Futbolist roll up onto the hillside right next to 3D Max. 3D Max going to be in an engagement right now, and this pressure being felt by Futbolist will be sending them back to their compound.
Yeah, Huth did have to use a first aid kit to try and heal himself back up, as he did get back into that vehicle. But Socorro from YMCA has a bit of an idea of potentially where ToxicPlayers are. ToxicPlayers, we talked about them. YMCA are a little bit split at the moment in my eyes. So it might not be looking the best for them to at least engage. But the benefit, Esquire, is that they do hold and cover a lot of angles that they can communicate to the rest of their team at where ToxicPlayers are.
Sammy Toxic going to be pushing up onto the members of YMCA, who are approaching the top of the hillside. Going to be spotted out. AK spray will be coming in, but the attention right back down the hill towards his direction. Nade comes out, a connection as well, dropping him down to 70 HP. Reposition coming in, but it will ultimately be able to find the AKM frag onto Turbo Banani. A few more members still alive for YMCA up the hillside, and they're certainly going to be trying to apply some pressure. But also coming in from ToxicPlayers, Archie on the flank could be in a position to spot out at least Coyote, and Sampula up the hillside is not going to be able to do so because the third position flank comes out. The Overwatch, Sakura with the Mini 14, able to find a few shots, putting them on their back foot.
Yeah, and that's the advantage, right? That's why I talked about having that different kind of position, that different angle that you're able to support your team. And obviously the negative was potentially that if ToxicPlayers had flushed a bit more aggressively, they possibly would have gotten the better YMCA. But either way, that's great play coming out from the side of YMCA, as Happy was taking a little bit of damage and did get taken down by Sampula.
Water treatment area drawing a little bit of attention as Tarlans continue to try to hold on to this hillside. Surely they've spotted out a few of the other teams in that area, especially Team Elite, as they wait for this impending third phase shift. Down to the south we go. A lot of squads will be inside of it. The northern squads have to make at least a bit of a trek as YMCA continues this engagement with ToxicPlayers. A trade coming out between both teams as they try to make their way a few meters down to the southeast inside of this next phase.
Well, if one team can really take out and win that squad fight, that will give them so much more freedom to move into that circle that they are close to. But you've got to make note that there are a few teams on the western side of Stratus from MJ-Esports managing to get away in that bike from CRIPS E-Sports, trying to just occupy a bit of a housing area just outside the zone so he can refresh, reset himself up, and communicate that information to the rest of his team.
Rotations coming out around Cruz de Valle as shots come in on the Stratus of MJ-Esports. That's powerful from atop the hill compound they were able to secure a few minutes ago that have now spotted out that transition coming in their direction. Almost 15 minutes, though, into this game. The boiling point of Miramar certainly about to boil over as all of these teams are getting compacted closer and closer together. Istanbul Wildcats able to find a place to call home, but on the other side of this town, on the southern side, lay the CRIPS.
Yeah, Istanbul Wildcats, they did well to occupy this nice little compound area inside Cruzaval. Do want to keep an eye on Enviik, who were moving in from the blue zone, believe it or not. So interested to see where they will occupy. It's powerful. Marcelic trying to pick up that loot crate items.
Yeah, not going to be a bad pickup right there. The Groza, not necessarily one of the more favored weapons out of the crate, but certainly that level 3 kit reigns supreme, and they're going to be picking off a lot of power from that nice package. Powerful, still sitting up onto this hill. This is the way to play it. Have 2 members in the double-story bar saloon building, and then have 2 others rotating around the corners, watching the flanks, making sure nothing will be approaching. A few shots off in the distance, as it seems the Tarlans have connected onto the members of the CRIPS, who are now in a bit of a pinch position as the Istanbul Wildcats start to push their way down south.
Yeah, we do see June has been able to knock down one member of Tarlans, that is Pancho KZ. But as you pointed out, these teams are starting to generally get closer and closer together. But Furax on the side of SEEKORG with that mini 14 knocks down powerful one member down. They're going to be put under a bit of pressure.
Tarlans still trying to set up here on the southern side of this town as CRIPS have been able to recover off of this. They did get a knock onto the Tarlans that will be keeping Poncho and Ermac on a bit of a back foot here, holding on comfortably, though, to this area of the map. They don't have to shift out just yet. All 15 teams that started out in the lobby again. I believe the team, what was it? Why Not? Did not end up showing up yesterday. Seems like they have exited out of the tournament as that next shift comes out. This is the one that we've been waiting for. This is where we expect to see a lot of engagements as teams find themselves on edge positions, dangerously nearby to one another's rotations.
Yeah, CRIPS E-Sports have a decent position, but you're going to have Istanbul Wildcats and Enviik looking to crash that compound. So a bit of a 3-squad fight in around the area. Also, we have SEEKORG, MJ-Esports fighting over that compound. All the while, Powerful actually in a perfectly prime position to knock out a couple of members from teams. But action going down as Curtin does get knocked down. CRIPS E-Sports protect themselves quite effectively.
This is what we expected to see. The Istanbul Wildcats push down south right into CRIPS. Istanbul Wildcats lose a lot in the process, though. In fact, even going to be taking down one of their own teammates in that hail of gunfire they were trying to spew into the direction of Webby and his team. More engagements popping off around the map as SEEKORG tries to reposition off of the northwestern side of phase number 4. They do see other teams in the distance and then will certainly be easily spotted off on the hillside. But with so much commotion going on, this is kind of their opportunity to play for a more powerful position.
Yeah, but I kind of do think that they have to make a bit of a decision to crash one team's compound because you're out in the open. And yes, that's always going to be the case a lot of the time for Miramar as compounds are rare. But when you have the opportunity that you can crash a compound until that next circle pops up, in my opinion, when you're decided SEEKORG that have impressed us in a lot of ways, you look to be aggressive, take control of your gameplay and move on forward. But for now, they're just playing a little bit passive as CRIPS E-Sports. They see where Enviik are. They're looking for those shots off A, trying to protect themselves as a meta bay with that scope, getting the work done for now.
Enviik feeling the hurt off of this position as they now find themselves having to make that rotation down that very wide open hillside. A little bit east to west, probably about 20 meters is all the land they have to cover, but those 20 meters are going to be the deadliest that they have traversed, at least so far in this tournament. Flammy's been able to bomb down to the base of the hill. That opens up an opportunity for his teammate to take a more southern route and bomb into the compound. Safe and sound for now, but for how long is the question. As Slippy Zerging, Istanbul Wildcats going to be spotted out. Webby, CRIPS going to be able to land at least one shot. Tarlans now going to be able to find a few more, and off the bike he goes. A crash. Slippy Zerg goes out. Who's going to be able to find the kill steal? Well, no one. Slippy Zerg goes out to his own hand.
Okay, interesting.
We all make decisions, Imperium. That's what I sum that one up to.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. But all the while, Powerful in that compound all by themselves have found YMCA, got one frag for their joys as they're going to follow up with another one onto Kajuti. Marcelic getting it done.
Rotation for Kings going to be approaching the members of 3D Max if they can pull the other 3 members of 4 Kings across the road where Grishcrap is currently sitting. Futbolist going to be a thorn in the side of the 4 Kings as they try to make this approach. Grenades flying back and forth between both of these squads, recognizing the pressure that the other does present. 4 stacks strong and a very good formation inside of the compound while the 4 Kings work off of a 3-1. Damage being applied now as 3D Max has spotted out the 4 Kings crossing into that wide open area. Smokes need to come out. They need the concealment to work off of, but how much will it be helpful with the members of Futbolist sitting right in front?
Yeah, Futbolists are just waiting, they're biding their time, and they've gotten a knockdown on the side of 4 Kings. Higgy, Foster gets fragged out. That's going to put 4 Kings under so much more pressure as they're taking shots from both angles between 3D Max and Futbolists.
Iggy going to be bleeding out. Manny just trying to stay alive, but what angles can you find that both avoid the members of Futbolist and the members of 3D Max? And it's none to be exact as he does get dropped down and out. ToxicPlayers will be the first team to exit out of the game at almost the 20-minute mark. That's a pretty long time for all teams in the lobby to survive, but now they quickly fall as 4 Kings will go down as well. Powerful holding just that, the powerful position on the northwestern side of the circle. They've got the elevation, they've got the compound. And, well, what can other teams do to try to fight around this, as teams to the north are already starting to figure that out? SEEKORG versus MJ-Esports.
Yeah, SEEKORG, MJ. Seems like MJ are getting the better of this right now. Philo has been fragged out. Forax has been fragged out. I believe that's going to be SEEKORG is down to 1 member. That's going to be Fisk, who's being searched out. And they do get eliminated in 13th place. Not the best first game that they would have been looking for. But now we turn our attentions to Enviik and CRIPS E-Sports trying to move their way into this circle from outside of it. Going to get ever closer to each other.
Spray coming out. The remaining members of the Istanbul Wildcats trying to put up a stand here, but the blue zone now starts to at least tick away at their HP. And Enviik Flamey, that nade, that was not intended. Out they will be going. A difficult mistake to have to deal with at the start of the day. Istanbul Wildcats from the window from the blue zone will not be able to put out the fatal damage and get spotted. Out in 12th position, they will be going, but 10 teams now remain as YMCA quickly follows suit thereafter. CRIPS pushing up onto the likes of Tarlans, who have somehow, some way, Imperium kept 4 alive, and the spray comes out. Mepro going to be going down as Poncho is engaged onto MJ-Esports. This is a triangular engagement, and all 3 teams are taking casualties.
Yeah, I did point out, I was thinking that Tarlans had an absolutely fantastic position because they were actually across the road of where that next circle did end up being, but we're seeing these teams drop left, right, and center. MJ-Esports, the latest team to go out. Tarlans are doing well to survive against CRIPS E-Sports. Going to try and get that revive off. Pancho down to 2 health. How close is that?
It's pretty close. It's about 2 HP away from being knocked down, and he's able to at least save his teammate Ermac. That's going to be significant. Rolling into the later stages of game number 1 of day 4 of stage 1 for the PUBG European League Contenders Promotional for phase 3. Next shift coming out. Elgiganten holds a centralized position. Will it pay off? Shift down to the southeast. Almost a hard shift. Powerful. Going to be feeling the hurt the most in terms of that transition. But I kind of wonder what other teams in the lobby are going to be feeling the hurt of Powerful pushing down into them. This is a squad that is aggressive. They have really nothing to... This is a team that has nothing to lose. They've already gained pretty much everything so far in this tournament. And what kind of pressure can they apply as the likes of CRIPS and 3D Max as well as Tarlans engage?
Yeah, Tarlans are not looking in the stronger position right now because they're facing hassle from all around them right now. CRIPS E-Sports outside the circle. They're going to come close to Powerful. We're going to be looking to get shots off onto them. All the while, 3D Max, they suddenly look in the strongest position because they have the circle. They have it across the road. They don't need to do anything other than fighting from a distance and get those shots off in any way they can as CRIPS E-Sports trying to do what they can to survive. Metabay and Webby, the final 2 players left alive.
Webby trying to get a few nades into that shack. Those windows notoriously difficult to try to pump a frag inside of. And in those missed attempts, you can see the smoke wall was put out by the members of the Tarlans. They were able to reunite away from the shack and now back together as a squad. As the shots come out, they've clashed with the likes of Powerful. Marcelik going to be on his back foot, dropped down to 33 HP. He's got the Groza prepped and ready. He's able to find one, but gets quickly traded out thereafter by Moonlight. Battle stalls for a moment as Ghostar continues to look around, tries to find even more as the members of this Tarlan squad are trying to find Moonlight's res.
Yeah, Ghostar is lying 3rd place in frags overall with 20 so far this week, looking to add to that in this first game of the week. Pancho does take down his teammate with a grenade. Unfortunately, that can happen in the world of PUBG, but Trakao follows up on the side of Elgiganten. They're looking to join in on the fun and gets a knockdown onto 1 member, Powerful.
Airwaves go out in 8th place position. 7 teams remaining as CRIPS Esports are going to be continuing to put the pressure down, but it's not going to be CRIPS. It's Powerful. Norkis finds the kill on the Moonlight to wipe out the entirety of the Tarlans. 6 teams now remain in CRIPS. They're going to be feeling the hurt as Norkis look in that direction, popping nades, popping 5.56 rounds. Third party comes in, and it's going to be none other. Wow, then I believe 3D Max. 3D Max has been a silent killer so far in this game. Picking up a few kill steals left and right is going to be paying off huge for them as they did slip off of that first place position on the leaderboards after day number 2.
Well, they kind of took the decision to occupy that side of the road, and it could have gone against them. It could have shifted that previous circle. It could have shifted towards Powerful, but suppose the PUBG Mobile gods were in their favor, and it's really kept on their side. So they've just, like I said, all they need to do is just keep moving around, make sure they can get a couple of shots off and just stay protected.
That's right. They've got to stay protected. That's what they've got to do. 3D Max going to be rotating around this northeastern side of the circle, phase number 7, in full effect with 35 seconds on the clock until the blue zone will start to force this transition if the players haven't already made it. Enviik's Faye in a very difficult position right here. Across the road, Solar tries to inspect it, is not going to be spotting him out. He only checks out what's on his side of the road and continuing on this far wide rotation across these wide open areas. Well, they are now exposing themselves to 3 different teams. Elgiganten, Powerful, and Enviik could still be a very big solo player threat here.
Yeah, and he's just going to wait, right? I'm kind of surprised that 3D Max were able even to survive that long going across the road, but they are now facing shots up right now from the side of Powerful, who are just looking so strong in this game.
That they are. Futbolist able to find some frags onto 3D Max. Enviik's remaining player, Faye, going to be spotted out by Morpheus of Powerful and taken down with the Mini 14 as Futbolist now look to try to divert their attention over towards Elgiganten Gaming and drop them down and out. 4 teams remaining, 10 players alive, and with 4 of those 10 on the sides of Futbolist, it is definitely going to be their game to take down unless they make some crucial mistakes, and that could be it. Huith going to be dropped down almost immediately as I said it by Ghostar with the Mini 14 headshot from Powerful.
They're just so strong with those shots. It's absolutely crazy what Powerful are doing, even when they had the circle against them. Yes, you know, they were a little bit lucky that Tarlans was feeling the heat from CRIPS E-Sports, so kind of Powerful just could come in and third-party them, right? But they just look so confident in their plays. They look so confident in their movement that you're pretty sure that every shot they take, it's going to hit onto one member of who they're shooting at. So right now, they're looking strong. They're looking prime. They want to get another chicken dinner. They want to make it their 5th so far in stage 1 of the Contenders promo, just to really add to their security of making it to stage 2, add to their confidence, and they're firing up on the side of Futbolists.
As you can see, the phase number 7 circle is about to shrink into phase 8. Phase 8 sets the landscape for the final collapse in phase number 9, and Powerful is already starting to push down from the north, trying to find as central of a location as possible. And they find themselves pretty secured now on the northern side of phase number 8. Elgiganten Gaming will have the most difficult time rotating in off of that northwestern position. They have spotted out Powerful. They need to get an opening frag here to get that window of opportunity to make the movement, and Trico is going to be trying, but with only 2 alive, it becomes increasingly difficult. Nades are going to start to fly as Ghostar preps them in the direction of Savage. That nade looking very close, but I'm not going to be finding the intended damage as Savage and Trico continue to stay alive. They're able to find it. There it is. The frag grenade from Savage onto Morpheus. Now Elgiganten has to make a move. If they sit back, that third party is devastating. That was their opportunity, and Trico gets dropped down by Futbolist.
Like, I was hoping they get help from Futbolists, but it's actually gone against them. However, we see Noki has gotten a knockdown, got a frag onto Genzo Futbolists, so they are being put under pressure themselves. They are down to 3 players, so it is a situation of 3-2 and 1 as we are down to 7 players, 3 teams. 3D Max did get taken out.
Savage knows he's not going to have an opportunity to res his fallen teammate, tries to make the push, but into the Futbolist he goes, and the bullet to the Futbolist into his body. Elgiganten Gaming out of the game now with just 2 teams left alive. A 3v2 in favor by 1 member only towards the Futbolist as Powerful still continues to hold on to the northern side. This stage in the game, there's no pressure, but Norcus has been spotted out. This is not what Powerful wanted to happen as Mockingjay exploits that vision and is able to get a few M416 shots over in that direction.
Yeah, great position play. He gets the shots off and then moves away. It's really great job. You don't stay in the same place for a long time. You get the shots off, you move out, so you give your opponent really little idea of where you are. But Gluttony, he gets knocked down from the side of Powerful Norcus. This becomes essentially a 2v2 situation, and we see Ghostar instantly going in. He wants to get that fragger. He wants to add to those total points that they have, which is currently 10 on kills, looking to make it 11.
Needs to get the flush, had to be careful in doing so. The information from that down player was being relayed to the other two alive for Futbolist, as Ghost Star's position completely exposed right now. 11 kills to their name. They're looking to pick up 2 more in the chicken dinner, but the spray comes in. Drop down to 24 HP. Ghost Star is trying to get some meds off. His teammate goes down and out. Norky's going to be dropped. It's a 1v2 scenario. 26 HP. One tap will close this out in favor of Futbolist, but Mockingjay is not going to be pushing up. He's got this member of Powerful on his back foot. You've got to play more aggressively if you want to take down these chicken dinners and if you want to advance into phase number 2, or rather stage 2 of this tournament. But they've let Ghost Star almost completely reset off of it. A 1v2 for this player on this squad is not out of reach.
He's waiting. He's open. He's going to throw the smoke grenade, but that's it. Oh, he gets a knockdown onto Mockingjay. It's 1v1.
And there it is, closes out the game. The 1v2 is to be had by Powerful. They pick up yet another chicken dinner here to kick off the day. 13 kills to their name as well. What a misplay coming out from the Futbolist, who had that game in the bag, but gave Powerful too much room to work with. And Imperium, if there's anything that we've learned throughout stage number 1, you give Powerful an inch, they're going to take it all.
Oh, man, I kind of can't help but feel, Futbolists say, they just kind of mess up that opportunity, because yes, they did lose one member of their team in that last frag out. But what that gave them clear communication of where he was, where that member of Powerful was. And they should have just have pushed onto it, because common sense tells you when they got the knockdown onto that second last player of Powerful, that left it in a 1v2 situation. They should have just flushed onto him as a 2-man team. Yes, a knockdown might have come over onto one member of Futbolist, but common sense of calculation and maths tells you that you would have gotten a kill in a 2v1 situation, and it would have given them the chicken dinner. But either way, you can't deny the work that Powerful put in as a team, how controlling, how concise they were with those shots, and they made it count.
Methodically played the end game circle right there. I like how they split off Norkies from Ghost Star. That really kept Futbolists on their back foot. They couldn't decide if it was going to be coming from one direction or multiple. And then Ghost Star really capitalized on it. That window of opportunity, that window of just a few seconds for him to reset and get the first aid off. His armor was shredded to bits. His helmet was probably just about to pop off. But he took advantage of it and capitalized. That's the confidence you want to see coming out of these teams trying to make their path to pro. All the way up to the PEL is where their sights are aimed, and Powerful making a hell of a run at it.
Yeah, and that's why I talk about sometimes about kind of putting the game in your own control, right? You can play based on strategies as a team, but when you're in a situation where you have a chance to take that game in your control, do it. That's not what Futbolists did. They come in second place. Still a great performance, as they did get 7 kills.
2 teams walking out of game number 1 with 0 points. Unfortunately for Team Elite, it continues to be a tough stage 1 for them. Istanbul Wildcats, a bit of a shift off of their performance. 0 points on the board is not something we're used to seeing from them, usually middle of the pack. But still, going to have the top 8, at least from this game, heavily staking their claims to the points based off of what we're seeing here from 9 to 15. And there it is, up at the top of the leaderboards. Imperium, walk us through those numbers.
Yeah, Powerful, as we saw. 13 kills, 10 placement points. Not quite 25 points that we saw them previously, but 23 is a good start. Futbolists did get 8 kills, so with 6 placement points, 14 in total. And 3D Max, we didn't really talk about them that much, but they used that circle to their advantage. They got 10 kills with those 4 placement points, gives them 14 points in total. And considering where they were lying in 5th place, that's just giving them that extra gap between them and 8th place.
So just to put into perspective how powerful the team of Powerful is playing, they have almost just shy of 6 times the points that Team Elite has been able to accumulate over the course of these 4 days. And look at these kills. Still, it seems like the most kills, the average number of kills coming out from our top killers of the game is going to be somewhere in the 4 to 6 range. 7 definitely the outlier. Only 1 team, 2 players have been able to stake their claim to that. But good kills nonetheless, going to be fairly spread out there. High damage coming in for Ghost Star. That just goes to show how impactful of a player he was, how significant he was for that chicken dinner.
And it doesn't really surprise me from any member of Powerful. Individually, they look, because you talked about how they split up. Individually, they look so confident in their own play style and their own actions that it doesn't surprise me that as players, they're dominating the frag scoreboard, they're dominating the damage scoreboard, and they're dominating the knock scoreboard in this stage one, and it's showing. But this head to head was always going to be tough for Futbolist, but they did the best job that they could.
Yeah, I mean, Futbolist definitely didn't find themselves in second place position from that game just by circle luck and good rotations. No, they definitely did fight their way through that. 8 kills and over 1,000 damage. We'll be picking them up, that 14 match points from the first game of the day. But I mean, when you just compare it to what Powerful was able to put out in that game, 5 more kills, 1,000 more damage. Teams all over the map have to beware of this squad. Even if they're not picking up kills on you, they are winning the war of attrition versus essentially everyone.